It's 2017, new year, same us, unfortunately. We wanted to look back at 2016 and talk about our favorite features, our favorite cookies, our favorite Eegees. For the features, we're just going to talk about our favorite and our least favorite. Let's start this off with, Logan, what was your least favorite feature this year?
Yeah. So I think, Tim, you and I are going to be pretty on the same page with both of these, favorite and least favorite.
I think so.
Or at least we're definitely not going to disagree with each other. We're like, there's room to agree.
Yeah.
Mine is the nacho cheese November.
Yeah.
Yep, the roast beef nacho cheese was the worst feature we had all year.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you strongly there. That was one of the worst sandwiches I've ever had. I went slightly differently with my least favorite. I think the nacho cheese was a close second for me, but I was especially offended, and I think that part of why I went with this selection for my least favorite was that they did it to us twice.
Yeah.
I went with the BLT, which in February of 2016 was called the BLT OMG. And then it came back in December with the new bacon. While the new bacon was better, the Eegee's BLT is just really bad.
But that's what made it particularly offensive, is that they were like,
it was still
ooh,
bad.
new bacon,
and it's still bad.
It's still bad.
I just don't enjoy that sandwich at all. And I think that I knocked it even a peg lower than the nacho cheese that I really hated because I was offended that it was given to me twice as a feature. Best feature of the year, I'll start this one off. Good feeling we're going to be in agreement that it's the monsoon dog.
Monsoon dog, definitely.
The monsoon dog, in terms of new original material, it was a little different than the monsoon dog that they had debuted 1 year before, and it was just really good.
Yeah, everything about it. Solid dog. And
I would say it was the only, in terms of new material in the features this year, that I ate, and I was like, wow, this is just good food. Let's get on to ranking our top.
This is a little harder.
Our top cookies of the year, what you've all been waiting for. There were 11 cookies over the 12 months. One was repeated. We'll get to that. I have a feeling we'll get to it soon. Let's start off with cookie number 11. Why don't you go first on this one?
Fudge brownie.
Fudge brownie.
The one three times it happened all year round. That's my least favorite.
So fudge brownie, we had to see it twice as the cookie of the month. It was also included in the greatest hits box September feature as a mini version of it,
which was worse.
Which was worse than the regular version. I didn't put that at number 11, and I'll explain why when I get to it in my ranking.
What is your number 11?
I went with the wild sugar cookie.
Oh.
I love a good sugar cookie. That thing has way too many sprinkles. To me, just so worthless as a cookie of the month. Like, you can already get just a regular sugar cookie. It just does not do it for me.
That one is my number 10.
So leading perfectly then, your number 10 into my number 10 was the peanut butter chocolate, which for me went especially low because of how good it sounded on paper and how poor the execution was. You might remember that the problem with this one was it had Reese's peanut butter chips in it, but it barely had any of them.
Yeah.
And the consistency of the cookie wasn't great. I remember, after a few bites getting like one peanut butter chip. So that's why I put that one so low. So number 9, one that we've already talked about, I put fudge brownie here. It's still near the bottom for me. I put it ahead of those two because of the 1 month that we decided to heat it up.
Yeah.
And that cookie,
that was better.
If you put your own spin on it and put that cookie in the microwave for a minute and let the middle get melty, it's a better cookie. So I at least bumped it up to 9 for that.
See, my 9 is the butter toffee, and I think you would rank that one a bit higher.
It's gonna, very
quite
different.
A bit higher. I just don't think I would want it again. Like, if it was a featured item, I don't think I'd get it. I just am not that into that flavor, and a couple of my other low ones are in that same kind of boat.
That leads us to the number 8 spot, correct? Why don't you lead us off there?
I did the cinnamon sugar caramel, and the number 8
surprises
there, because I liked the pecan cinnamon roll so much better.
Okay.
And to me, it was just like, just give me that one again.
Okay.
So I know I wouldn't get that one because I would just so much rather have the other one.
That's fair. My opinion on that's going to become more clear. But for 8, I went with the chocolate lovers.
Yeah, and we disagreed on that then.
Right, the batch that we got of that one was a little goofy. It fell apart completely.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't even get it out of the bag, and it was in 10 pieces. We've hit territory of like cookies that I didn't necessarily have a problem with. That was just one that I wasn't crazy about.
Yeah.
My number 7 again fits into a similar category, the winter white chocolate.
Mine too.
Okay.
We nailed it there.
It's a perfect 7 cookie where like I enjoyed that cookie. I like white chocolate, but there's a cookie that we're going to get to, I believe, near the top of both of our lists, I would imagine, that was just the better version of that cookie, and so that one just kind of left me wanting.
Now I put the peanut butter chocolate chip here, which is kind of in the middle. It's still on the bottom half, but in the middle because I like chocolate more.
At the number 6 spot.
I think that's the reason.
This is where I went with pumpkin spice. I think that their pumpkin spice is a solid cookie. I just think when it comes to some of those wintry and pumpkin spicy things that they don't totally knock it out of the park, but it's good. Number 5, I went with their standard snickerdoodle.
We're really close on these. Like we're not quite there, but we're really close to each other.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I felt like their snickerdoodle was maybe just the inferior version of the cinnamon sugar caramel, the pecan cinnamon roll.
Yep. See, I put number 5 as pumpkin spice.
Okay.
Because, again, right in the middle, I liked it. I'd get it again.
Yeah.
But my number 4 is the snickerdoodle. And it's funny because I think you said you liked it more in the video, but thinking back, I'm like, yeah, I would eat that snickerdoodle again.
Yeah, no, I liked the snickerdoodle a lot, but it leads nicely into my number 4 is the cinnamon sugar caramel, which I felt was like very similar to the snickerdoodle, but it had that nice caramel drizzle on top. What do you put at 3?
The chocolate lovers.
The chocolate lovers.
I mean,
one of my least favorite.
I love chocolate, so I'm in that category, but I would probably put it higher, except that it just wasn't as good of a chocolate cookie as they could have made. Like, they could have made a much better one, and I would have probably put it at number 1.
See, and I went with butter toffee
so that's
here.
Exactly where we flipped.
I went back and revisited the video where we talked about that one and saw how much I enjoyed it when it came back to me. I loved the little toffee chips, and I liked that we get a lot of chocolate from Eegee's. We get a sort of disproportionate amount of cinnamon sugar based cookies. It's like a third of the year. The butter toffee one is different, but cookie the month material for me.
Now the last 2, I'm pretty sure Tim and I have just swapped. His number 1's my number 2. My number 1 is his number 2.
We clearly feel like we have a clear top 2.
Yeah, my top is the pecan cinnamon roll. My number 2 is the orange chip.
And I just have them flipped. I put the pecan cinnamon roll 2, and the sweet orange. I gave it the top spot because I felt like it was the most unique cookie that they've done yet. That it was the most unique, and they totally nailed it. It had the right amount of orange flavor. The white chocolate chips complemented that flavor well. I thought that was a sophisticated cookie.
Yeah, the only reason I didn't put it number 1 is just because I would rather have the cinnamon roll one. But both of them were awesome. Both of them were great.
And I think we both feel that way. We had a clear top 2. For our Eegee's, in contrast to having 12 months and 11 cookies, we had 12 months and 13 Eegee's. So let's kick into number 13. I have a feeling it's going to be the same. Let's say it at the same time. We'll count down from 3, 2, 1. Jungle Juice. I hate Jungle Juice.
Yeah, it's the worst. There's nothing to talk about. It is the worst flavor.
I would love to see it not appear again this year.
Especially because they've gotten rid of flavors that are so much better.
Number 12, I went with Holly Berry.
Yeah, we're going to disagree here. I went with root beer.
Root beer, yeah. We feel differently about the root beer Eegee. Go back and watch our February to hear more about that, I guess. But I went with Holly Berry for 12. I think that we talked about it recently. You just can't distinguish any of the flavors. You get some strawberry, but otherwise it's just miscellaneous berry. I don't even get what it's supposed to be besides like berry-ish sweet tart flavor.
Yeah, I mean, ask half of Tucson and they'll tell you root beer though. So
they might even put it lower than Jungle Juice.
11, I did cherry limeade.
Okay.
The cherry flavors we've often talked about not being the best in general. But the cherry limeade, I think, is just disappointing as both a cherry flavor and a lime flavor.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you there. It's coming up soon for me. I went with peach and berry at 11 because of how strongly it tastes like peach ring. And to me, it's like 3 parts peach ring to 1 part strawberry, and I don't like it. Number 10 is where I put cherry limeade. I agree with you there. It kind of surprises me because of how much I love the lime flavor.
I love cherry limeades, and that's part of why mine is so low.
But there's something about that one that just doesn't quite work.
Holly berry's my number 10, so
Okay.
in that same bottom tier, for sure.
Number 9, I went with root beer here. I rated a little bit higher than some others do. I love root beer so much that even though it doesn't totally work, I'll still enjoy it once a year.
My number 9 is the peach and berry, so for all those reasons, it's just not that great. It's definitely in my lower half of flavors, all of that.
So through our bottom 5, we picked the same 5.
Yep.
Different order, but we picked the same 5.
I think we agree there.
So let's kick into the top 8 and see how differently we did this. I went with watermelon pineapple splash, which is pretty far in our memory at this point.
Yeah.
It's a full year ago. But I remember I didn't totally get the right proportion of watermelon and pineapple, that I overall enjoyed the flavor. That's why it's not near the bottom.
Yeah.
I overall enjoyed it. It was a solid, refreshing flavor I was happy to have.
But not as good as watermelon.
But it's not as good as watermelon, and it just didn't seem like it quite hit the heights it could have.
Yeah, my number 8 was Scary Berry. It was from number 8 on are all ones I like. That I'm good with, I would have again.
And I know some people that feel very strongly about that one. For 7, I went with Banana Blush. Banana Blush we've described as the mom's flavor. It's everyone's mom's favorite flavor. I like that it goes down super smooth. It's not super sweet tasting. It's got nice and smooth. It's just not the heights of some of my other favorites.
Yeah, my number 7 is the watermelon pineapple, so real close to where yours was. It's about in that same kind of place. It's kind of forgettable. We did have it a long time ago, but it wasn't so memorable that it's something that I really want to have again.
6 is where I went with Scary Berry. I really like the flavor of Scary Berry. My only complaint with Scary Berry is it is very tart. And sometimes I feel like I can't have any more than a small because it's just so tart, but I think it's a good flavor.
My 6 was Mango Tango. I think it's in the top half now, and I like it a lot, but it's not in my top 5.
And I went with Mango Tango right at number 5. Yeah, I agree. We're heading into top territory, but it's just not quite in my very top tier.
My top 5 starts with lime. And I know, Tim, you rank lime really high up.
Interesting.
It's in my top 5. It's great. I like it a lot, but there's a few others I really prefer.
Wow, this is a big moment. So at 4, I went with cherry cider. We notice here as we come down the line in our top ones that these are mostly flavors that have been around a while. Cherry cider's been around as a fall flavor for a long time. I tend not to be a big fan of the cherry flavors, which is why I get so excited about cherry cider. Because I think it hits that right balance. I think that maybe it has some apple juice in it, possibly, that maybe cuts the cherry a bit, and it's just a really nice overall flavor. I really enjoy cherry cider.
Yeah, my number 4 is the upset here. It's banana. I want to have it again. I'm excited about it if it comes back. I remember liking it. I thought it was good. Maybe I'm just more of a mom than I thought.
Maybe you are a mom. Number 3.
Number 3, I put cherry cider. So about the same place, but I like the cherry stuff a little bit more than you do. So makes sense.
I went Orange Dream here. I'm firmly into what I would call my true top tier, and Orange Dream kicks that off.
Cherry cider for me, number 3, but Orange Dream is number 2. So that's where I get
even higher than mine.
Into that, I think it's a solid number 2.
So your number 1 is going to be my number 2.
Yep.
Watermelon is my second favorite flavor. I think it seems to be most Tucsonans' favorite flavor
the
of the month.
populist opinion.
I absolutely love it, but it is not my number 1.
And of course, your number 1, Lucky Lime.
Number 1 in my heart is Lucky Lime. Always will be. It's my favorite flavor, without a doubt. That was 2016. Nothing else happened in 2016 as far as I'm aware.
This was a boring year.
It was features from Eegee's and Eegee's from Eegee's and cookies from Eegee's.
Yeah.
If you know of any other current events that happen,
Put them in the comments.
put them all in the comments. We're not
I'm sure
aware
it's
of
just
them.
going to be a couple,
Yeah.
right?
I was mostly concerned with this stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, if anything happened, I missed it. Let us know if any music came out, if any movies were released. We're unaware.
Anybody died? I don't know.
Didn't hear
I
about
didn't
it.
hear about it either.
Thank you for watching probably 1 to 1.5 of our episodes in 2016. We appreciate your viewership. We're looking forward to a great 2017.
And thank you for watching us review Eegee's all year.